Hey everyone, welcome to Hold'em with Scott. I'm your host Scott, and I'm here to guide you through the exciting world of Texas Hold'em, which is also known as poker. On this channel, we're diving deep into the fundamentals of Texas Hold'em, from understanding the basics to mastering tournament strategies. So join me in this journey as we explore the ins and outs of Texas Hold'em. Get ready to elevate your game and dominate the tables. Texas Hold'em is about making fewer mistakes than your opponents. Even the pros can't claim perfection after any session. There's always room for improvement. It boils down to making the right decision at the right moment, plain and simple. But here's the kicker. Every game is unique because you're facing against and you're playing against different people, each with their own play style. And it's this variety that keeps the game exciting and unpredictable. In Texas Hold'em, each player is dealt with two cards face down, known as your hands. These cards are unique to each player and remain hidden from others. After your hands are dealt, the game proceeds to a round which is what we call the pre-flop, where players can choose to fold, give up their hand, call, match the current bet, raise, increase the bet, or check, pass the action to the next player without betting. After the initial round of betting, 3 community cards are dealt face up on a table. This is called the flop. Next comes the turn, where it is the 4th community card. Another round of betting follows. Finally, the river arrives as the 5th and final community card. After the river, the last round of betting takes place. Players use their 2-hole cards along with the 5 community cards to make the best possible 5-card poker hand. The player with the highest ranking hand at the end of the final betting round wins the pot. So what you're seeing right now is a position for 9-player table, which is also the max. Tournaments also follow this rule. Now let me guide you through the positions in poker. First, we have the small and big blind, which are basically the 2 must-know positions in Texas Hold'em. First, you have to know the blind level. What does that mean? So for example, in a tournament, the blind level is set at $10. Then that applies to the big blind. But the small blind have to bet half the blind level, which is $5. These are 2 mandatory bets to keep the game going, or else the tournament will never end. The player under the gun, which is also what we call the UTG, refers to the person seated directly to the left of the big blind. During pre-flop, they act first, meaning they're the first to make a decision on whether to fold, call, or raise. The order of betting changes after the pre-flop betting round. In all rounds after the flop, the small blind player acts first if they're still in the hand. If the small blind isn't involved in the hand after the flop, the next player to the left of the small blind starts the action. In a poker tournament, blind levels are structured to increase gradually over time. This means that as the tournament progresses, the forced bets known as blinds becomes larger, putting more pressure on players' chip stacks and influencing their decisions. At the beginning of a tournament, the blind levels are typically set at a lower value to allow players to ease into the game. However, as time passes and the tournament progresses, the blind levels increases at a regular interval. For example, it goes from $10 to $20 in an hour. This forces players to make challenging decisions, and the target is to eliminate more players out of the tournament.